Hello everyone, welcome to Data Engineer YouTube channel. So in this video we will talk about how to make parameters in Azure Data Factory and basically what are parameters. Previously we have covered all these topics. You can just check my playlist for these topics, and in the upcoming videos we will be covering these topics which are listed in this Excel file. So stay tuned and subscribe to this channel if you are new to this channel. So let's get started with what is parameter in Azure Data Factory. Same like in SQL we create parameters, in other languages also we create some parameters. In Azure Data Factory also we the parameter is the same thing. Basically if we want to insert any value dynamically, right, we use parameters. Just like if you have used .NET, C#, there is something called app configuration, right? What we do is we create an app configuration file where we can put some credentials, some values, and afterwards what we do is we refer those variables in the main code, and basically we can even change the values whenever required, right? Now the question is how we can create parameters in Azure Data Factory. Now I'll take 2-3 examples. Number one scenario is I have a blob storage. So let me just go to my blob storage. Alright, so my storage name is storage demo QA, something like this. Now what I will do is I'll just open my container. I'm just assuming I have one container named dev. I have another container, let's say, named QA, means quality assurance. QA assurance means quality assurance. I'll just create a new folder. So I have now two folders, dev, quality assurance, and now I will also create one more folder called production. I'll create it. Okay, so now we know that basically what happened is whenever we are doing a corporate job and anything, what we do, we firstly develop our thing, right? We create pipeline in the dev environment, then slowly we go to product, the QA part, quality analysis, and we go to pre-production, again to production finally, right? We can have multiple folders here, okay, in one container. Now the question is, I have this copy activity, my source is okay, student dataset, but my sync is not sure. Sometimes I want to copy the data in the development environment, sometimes in production, sometimes in quality assurance. So how can I do that? So that's the problem. Now this solution is parameters. So what we will do is I will create a parameter. So kindly note, parameters can be created in datasets, pipelines, data flows, anywhere. So what I will do is I will go to student RK dataset. Okay, so here we have the file path, something like this. Here we have something called parameters. What I will do is I will say the parameter as environment. I'll just give the parameter name as environment. Okay, so what I will do is I will go to connection. As of now what I am doing is my final path is dev, which is fixed. Now I will click on add dynamic content and I will select environment and press OK. Now what will happen is whenever I will execute it, it will ask me where to sync the data. So I will be providing what this I can provide any of these values, and there my file will be copied. Let's see it further. So I will publish my changes. It is giving me an error, no value provided for parameter environment. Now in this copy activity also, here we need to provide the value, but even here I want the value to be dynamic. So what I will do is I will create one more parameter here. Again I will name it as environment, and what I will do is I will again click on this. I will click on this value, and again I will select environment of this part, right? Now again what I will do is I will publish it. Okay, so now it will finally publish. Now we have used parameters. So as I told, parameters can be created anywhere, data set, in your copy activity, your pipeline basically, right, in your data flows and so on. So you can create it. Now what will happen is as soon as I click on debug button, it will ask me this is the environment I want. Which environment I want? Okay, so let's say I want it in production. So I will type here production and I will press OK. So what will happen is basically in which folder my file will be synced? In the production folder. My file will be somewhere here as the output. So if this copy activity succeed, so my file will be present in that final production folder. Let's check it out. So now this ran and now I will refresh it and you will see a Parquet file called final here. So this is one of the use case of parameters. Now another use case is, let's say I have a copy activity and my source is not blob storage, it is something like SQL. Now in SQL, you can create stored procedures, right? Stored procedures may have parameters, right? So at that time, what will we do is, whenever we'll create a data set for that SQL, it will ask for the parameters. Again, steps are same. You will go to parameters, you will create it here and you will use it in your copy activity. Somewhere here it will ask, right? Now this is how basic parameter works, right? So to make the things dynamic in nature, they are not hard coded. We use parameters. They are very extensively used. Maybe it may be different for different project situations. So it was an overall view how you can use it. So definitely everywhere you will see parameters. Just see, this is my pipeline. I have a section called parameters. I can create any number of parameters and I can use it. Again, in datasets, I have parameters option, right, and so on. Even in data flows, we can get the same option. Now the question is, just see, in this Parquet, I was setting this parameter. So this parameter is created here. So this is the environment parameter. Now just see, it is very important. I used this data set in this copy activity, copy Excel data. So now when I used this data set, it asked me about that parameter, that there was a parameter in environment in that data set. So what should be its value? I again said, I haven't given the value here. I said, you take this value from the parameter of this pipeline. Okay, again in the pipeline, I created a parameter called environment. I can create anything, ABC. And then I again provided the value here that it is referring to my environment parameter made here, right? Now whenever I will trigger it, now the question is what happen if you trigger it. If I will trigger it, I again need to tell the value. Okay, even if you put schedule triggers, you need to tell the value. What should be the value, right? So this is how parameter works. Even when you debug it, you need to enter the value. So this is how parameter works, and this is how to make your pipelines dynamic in nature. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, like it. If you have any question, maybe sometimes what happen is the situation is different, the scenario is different, you can share it in the chat box and I will definitely reply on it. I hope you found the video useful. Thank you.